Hey everybody, it's Henry with the Film Buds podcast. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, please let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks. 87. Let's get to Saltburn, which is, I think, exclusively streaming on Amazon, but I think you can rent it and purchase it in other places. It came out in late 2023. It's written and directed by Emerald Fennell, who also did Promising Young Woman with Carey Mulligan, which is amazing. It stars Barry Keoghan, Jacob Elordi, Rosamund Pike, Richard E. Grant, Archie Mataku, Sadie Soverall, and a few others. And the synopsis is: a student at Oxford University finds himself drawn into the world of a charming and aristocratic classmate who invites him to his eccentric family's sprawling estate for a summer never to be forgotten. So I was excited about this one for many reasons. I loved Promising Young Woman. I thought it was one of the best films of that year, even though I got to it a little late. And I love everyone in this cast. I think Barry Keoghan has really grown to be one of the most interesting up-and-coming actors, both as like a character actor and a leading man. I love him in Killing of a Sacred Deer, Dunkirk. I loved his Joker performance in the deleted scene of the Batman. Jacob Elordi, I'm only getting aware of now. Like, I haven't really watched much of Euphoria, but I loved him in Priscilla, and I think I've seen him at least in one other thing. So, a lot of interesting things about this. It sort of felt like a more unsettling version of Call Me By Your Name, in a sense, and definitely had feelings of other movies in this same vein. And it's also produced by Margot Robbie, her company, which is interesting. I didn't know that till after. I didn't know really what to expect because I think the reviews have been fairly polarizing. Some people said this movie is like amazing, best of the year. And then some people have said, nope, this is a bore. It sucks. It's overrated, et cetera, et cetera. So I wasn't really sure how I would feel. And overall, I really did enjoy it a fair bit. It's not a masterpiece. I don't think it's as good as Promising Young Woman. It wouldn't have been on my top 10 list, but it's still very unique. Like, that's something with Emerald Fennell. Her voice, her vision is very refreshingly unique. And that's something that we don't get that often, especially in a fairly new filmmaker and writer. So I am very excited to see what she does next. Even if I don't love every one of her movies, I'm absolutely going to watch everything she does. Because in both films, and this one especially, there's a lot of really dark yet beautiful, creepy imagery that she's able to really evoke a feeling. Like, this movie, I think, has been described as like a vibe, and it definitely is a very unsettling, weird, mysterious vibe throughout this whole thing. There's a lot of intriguing, unpredictable energy that's lying under the surface the whole time, and Barry Keoghan is amazing in it. Like, he has this great mystery to him, and he has that really across all of his movies where you don't know exactly what he's thinking. He's always looking around, and he has that perspective that's very compelling to watch. And he and Jacob Elordi, sorry if I'm saying that last name wrong, they're great together. And the look of Saltburn, which is the estate, amazing. Love that. Rosamund Pike and Richard E. Grant's very, very stuck up, oblivious, rich behavior is mostly funny, but it's also, I think, a commentary on that sort of class, upper class. And all that works. The whole movie, it does get into points where I wouldn't say I was bored, but there were points where I was thinking, this is a little too long. It maybe treads water too long in certain places where we kind of know where it's going. I think after a while, you can kind of tell where, at least maybe not the third act is going to totally go, but there were some things that I definitely saw coming, which isn't inherently a bad thing. I think that the movie is so stylized, so evocative, so kind of disturbing and unsettling throughout the whole thing. You're never really sure what to expect. You don't know what sort of imagery you're going to see next, which is a big thing for me in this. I was always excited to see what visuals she could create. And there are some total what the hell moments. I won't spoil it too much just in case you haven't seen it, but I think the thing with the bathwater is fairly known. That's wild. There's a scene with a grave towards the end, which is shocking. And even the third act reveals and all that, I really, really like that. Some people don't. I liked it. And the final song at the end, that whole sequence absolutely love that. That was a great end to the movie. And on top of that, the soundtrack choices across the board were perfect. Like, just a great mix of things. There's such energy in them, and the whole movie has a great energy. I get that if you became bored with it, it's not really one for everyone. I think that the pacing, the style, the storytelling is quite challenging and probably would require a couple of viewings to really grasp everything. But I still enjoyed it. It really did leave a mark. It's better if you don't know anything about it. I would just watch it blind because I didn't know anything about the third act or where it was going. So all that was a great, effective shock and twist for me. And also, she does a great job of having it be one of those stories where everyone knows everyone. Everyone is like suspicious of each other. Some people are like infatuated with each other, sleeping together, unbeknownst to everyone. And people are like jealous, and there's a lot of animosity and double crossing. So all that really works. It is playing in familiar territory, as I mentioned. So if you want something different, I would absolutely check out Promising Young Woman. I think most people say that that one is better than this one. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that's the general consensus. I would agree. But this is still a very, very strong, refreshing second feature for her. And yeah, I can't wait to see what she does next. So that is a heavy 4 out of 5.